Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Irish Collegiate Esports. Today we have Ulster Unicorns against the UCC B team. Looks like our first map of the evening is going to be Train, just loading in there. I'm joined today by fabulous fellow caster Ro.
Hello, good evening. Glad to be with you this fine October evening. How are you getting on?
Yeah, no, I'm good. I'm looking forward to this one. It should be a good
Yeah,
game.
yeah, definitely looking forward to it. Just when you said we have Train as the first map, uh, I was chatting to the captain of the Ulster side, and they did mention that Train was one of their main maps. So it'll be interesting to see what they've got maybe planned in store for us. Uh, Train wise, because Train is such a versatile map. You can do so many things on it, and I think it's becoming more common as a map to play now. Maybe in the previous uh, years, it wouldn't have been as commonplace as like say Mirage, Inferno, things like that. But I think more and more frequently it's being played, so it's nice to see a bit of variation in the map pool as well.
Yeah, it's definitely a time where the map pool can really kind of lean towards any map being favored by a team. Like every team has their own specific favorite, and it's not just one of the mainstream ones like Mirage or Inferno. Like people seem to favor like the likes of Nuke and Train, which is interesting to see.
Yeah, I myself, I still, to be fair, would probably need to do some more practice playing in on Train. Like I do know some smokes and stuff, but um, because it's becoming more popular and more prevalent, it would make so much more sense for people now to have it as one of their main picks. Because you're still in that sort of limbo state where some teams play it, some teams don't, and if you catch one of those teams that don't play it too often, but it mightn't be their like insta ban, then you're onto a good run here. So obviously, UCC B team they've let this one slide. So their first ban actually was overpassed Ulster. Insta ban was Dust 2. So I'll be honest, I agree. Dust 2 is my least favorite map, but um, personal preferences aside, we've got Mirage to look forward to as well for the second game. So I think that's a decent two maps we'll have up and coming for these two teams.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you want to run us through the rosters real quick? I know you're you know some of the UU guys.
Sure thing, yeah. So we've got on the Ulster side, like it would be nice to actually get playing. I go to Queens, so there's a bit of I suppose you could say a bit of rivalry there. It would be nice to get playing some of the guys more often. So believe you were talking about Tonesy as a player to look out for on the Ulster side. I've seen Broken get a good few games going. He seems to be there. He's their captain for the Ulster side. So um, there's definitely a lot of potential, especially since Ulster didn't have a team in the last year. So it's nice to see some young blood come into the Ulster scene.
Absolutely. As we get away into the pistol round here, looks like the T side, the Ulster Unicorns, are just going to charge into the B bomb site. They will fall. The open kill will go in favor of UCC here. But the bomb has been planted on A. Very a cheeky fake coming out there from these Ulster Unicorns. But only 3 players left now in the after plan to actually defend it. They're going to find themselves in a tough position unless they can get some kills here.
Yeah, it was a good fake coming out from Ulster, and they may have lost the players, but they've bided enough time here. I see Tonesy will get that first frag for Ulster, and the second as Broken comes out, and Tonesy with a third and a fourth, just like that. Well, we thought maybe UCC had a chance to get back into that, not having anybody surviving, or not having anyone die in that initial peak on the B, but just like that, Tonesy cleans up with Broken coming for a cheeky pick from Pop Dog there. Good start for the Unicorns.
I think
Obviously playing
that's
T side, it's a bit different. Like CT side is so big on this map. If you can get snowballed in, especially, it's crazy. So uh, nice to get the first round on the board.
absolutely. We knew Tonesy was going to be a player to look out for, but that is oh, it's something special we just saw there. As we come into round number 2 now. opening kill, going in favor of UU this time against the Anti-Eco. 2 kills to team now as they pick up a third. If you're UCC in this position here, you kind of just want to get a kill and maybe try to steal the weapon, which 2 kills do come out in UCC's favor here. As 255 gets one onto Boof Sauce, and Long gets one onto 255 in return. Closing out the round. So they managed to hold on to 3 guns, so it's not awful, all things considered.
Yeah, decent enough round there. You'd be happy if you were UCC. You know, get a few frags there on the board, build up that economy just a little bit more. It looks like they're going to opt for a half buy actually, which is fair enough. CT side, you do want to get that economy rolling, but also you don't want to be wasting around because you don't have enough nades to stop the push. And we're just going to see a full send here through the B ramp. 1 frag only going their way, as it will be eventually a meat grinder, and that will be the 3rd round now for Ulster.
They did manage to get 1 kill there as well, which is yet again another weapon that has to be bought for UU here. So every little counts, I suppose. But on the flip side there, Tonesy is going to be holding on to that Mac 10, hoping to perhaps get some of that SMG money and sort of build up his team's economy coming into the next round. Double up setup coming out on UCC straight away. That's very interesting.
Yeah, very early, especially in a round like this. Oh, big miss there. Ankle joints will lose that op shot, and as a result, Tonesy is able to walk out onto the B side and get Forest there. So that will be another frag for Tonesy as well. Clears the B site single-handedly there. So that op not getting any work done so far.
Yeah, a bit unlucky. You kind of need to make something happen if you're going to be double upping like that. But just like that, it's a 2 versus 5, and UCC are finding themselves in a tough spot already. Probably just going to want to hold on to these weapons.
Yeah, it looks like Kokai is just saving here now. 255 as well. Chilling in heaven. So, unfortunately, UCC not being able to get another round there on the board. Double up setup was hoping to pay off big time, but unfortunately it didn't work out for them. But they should be able to save these 2 guns. I would say, if you look at the money, Kokai and 255 could drop this. Oh, Kokai gets a 2nd frag, actually, just as I was talking there. Looks like they're actually just going to opt to buy nades, and the remainder of the UCC side will buy around this as well. So, not that strong. The op coming out here for Boof Sauce and a scout, so that's 3 scoped weapons for UCC. That's a lot of long range duels.
It is. Hopefully they're going to go for some sort of an aggressive play. Like we will see Kokai peeking at Ivy here, but he'll be absolutely removed by Tonzi, who will just pick up that AWP any day of the week. Boof Sauce will be dropped from Pop Dog by Long. And yet again, it's just a 5 versus 3, and UCC have nothing to show for the money they've invested into this round.
The only scope work being done here by Ankle Joints with that 2 crisp headshot frags there with the scout. He has been tagged down to 18 HP, and Forest not making anything in this round. There's a bit of a fluff there from Belong, but he will get that frag with the Glock. Forest has now picked up an AK, throws the molly down to stop any pushes, and he's holding on. Tonesy will run through that smoke and not get the frag. Forest doesn't expect the close peek, and Belong 2 Glock frags there for him in that round. It looked fairly confident there for Ulster, but a nice 2-piece with the scout from Ankle Joints just made it that little bit closer. But that will be another round now. 5 rounds for Ulster, which is quite big, I would say. You'd be sort of aiming for 5 rounds throughout the whole T half, and they've just got it on the trot.
Yeah, absolutely. This is a very, very CT-sided map for a lot of teams. From what we're seeing here, though, UU are very, very organized and disciplined in their attacks. They're hitting the bomb sites very, very coordinated. And I think UCC are definitely going to need to change something up if they want to try and break this round streak UU have got for themselves. Boof Sauce will get the opening kill there onto Blue Penguin and probably claim himself an AK-47 there.
And it looks like he's going to... Oh, he was going to push up, but he thought better of it. Tonesy does hear it and brings out the old classic SG. Haven't seen that used too often since they kind of nerfed it after it was very prevalent for a while around February, March time. Kokai there with AWP in back green Ivy area. Does get a frag, finally making use of that AWP. And this is looking quite good actually for UCC. We might get a round on the board here. Broken first to pop out there. Pop Dog. No frags being traded just yet. No, 2 smokes on the Ulster side, but none have been deployed, which really could be useful right now. It's just going to be hard aim duels. Broken tapping on top of the train. Will get 1 frag. Kukai to trade there onto long. And he's spotted Broken there on the top of green. Does get that frag as well, so he's putting in big work with that AWP. All down to Belong in a 1 versus 3, and Forest will clean up. So that's the first round now on the board for UCC.
They do manage to pick up the 2 AWPs as well, so not a huge investment for them either, only losing the 2 players, but being able to hold on to the weapons they had is quite big, and I'll stand by them, I think, in this coming round. UU, however, looking at their economy, they're still good for another round or 2. They're certainly not broke, haven't been reset or anything, so they're still in the driving seat for now. UCC have quite a bit of work to do.
Yeah, if you're ECC, you might be thinking, will Ulster want to change it up from their previous sort of default plays that they've been doing? But it seems like they're going to do the same thing. Kukai is playing here in IV. Toonsy the one to hold him back from pushing anymore. He won't get the frag like previous, but Kukai is really determined to hold this angle. I think that Molotov will just flush him out for now, but he's just going to still play up so close, and it will cost him his life there. Toonsy gets that frag yet again. Leading the way in the server, 10 and 3, the closest person to him, Broken and Kukai, both on 5 frags, and Belong as well. So he is doing big work here in IV. As I'm saying that, Long is just sneaking out through Olaf into T-Hell now. Not spotting anyone just yet. Boof Sauce at the other end of the smoke here. Seems to be looking towards Ivy still. Deagle rings out there from 255. He's going to get tagged down to half HP, and that will trigger a push now onto the B site as Long gets a frag onto Boof Sauce. Ankle joints hidden in the back lines now of the B site. Good for 1. Tonesy trades out onto Forest, and Ankle Joints is still alive. He hasn't been killed just yet. Belong pulls out that Glock. I think Belong's had more kills with the Glock than he has a rifle in this game so far. And yeah, that will be a fairly... I would say dirty round. It was very back and forth trade wise, but in the end has been closed up there by Ulster, and economy still alright for UCC for at least 1 round.
Indeed, yeah. Ankle Joints did well there to take 2 down with them, and definitely stayed alive for a little longer than he should have. But that will be UU's 6th round, and they've definitely forced UCC onto the back foot here now in this round, because UCC absolutely need to win this if they want to have any semblance of coming out on top of this half. So a lot of pressure on them right now.
Kokai to get the first frag there. Not getting much done with the AWP, but he will get something there with that M4. But usually we see Toonsy playing in and around IV, and he's not doing it this round. He has the AWP in T-spawn, and he's just going to bring that bomb now up to the back of B-side here. Still using that AWP that he had picked up from Kokai there in the previous round. Boof Sauce in Pop Dog draws a bit of attention. Molotovs and nades raining down into Pop. 3 players all focused on him. If I were UCC, I might want to get a bit of aggression now onto another side of the map to get information, and that will be just what's happening. Kokai in the back lines would be there. Good for 1 frag onto Penguin, but Broken and Toonsy will feed the balance their way as Forest, as I say that, gets 1 frag onto the B side. Broken now in the back lines does get that frag on the Boof Sauce. 2 versus 2. 35 seconds remaining. 255 doesn't realize that they've came down Pop Dog, and that will be the A site given to Ulster. So a retake now for the UCC players. Jump up from Broken is unfortunate timing, but he won't get tagged down too badly, and is able to retreat now into Pop Dog.
Maybe 2 retake coming in as the CT's charge out of the connected position. Toonsy will miss that first op shot. He will get tagged up a bit in response to that. Broken will peek out of Pop Dog, but be dropped by 255. And now it's just Toonsy left in a 1 versus 2, and he will be dropped. That will be a 2nd round on the board for UCC. They're definitely stepping up when it's absolutely necessary for them right now. They would have been in a very, very tough spot had they have lost that retake.
Yeah, it's good to see, especially after the rotation off there from the A side. It was nice to see a more, bit more team play coming out from UCC there, grouping up together, getting those trades. And unfortunately for Ulster, just couldn't hit the shots there, couldn't hold on in the after plant position. But as we can see, the money's still not the greatest here for UCC, so we can see ankle joints with a Deagle, Boof Sauce with the FAMAS, but he does have a decent amount of utility, and Kokai with that AWP yet again, playing the IV area. 3 people to IV this round now for Ulster. This could be interesting to see what they come up with.
It's still a weak buy coming out for UCC, despite winning the round with the FAMAS and a Deagle to hold on to. Very low in the utility as well for the likes of ankle joints and Forest. The aggression in his teammate will be punished as UU pick up 2 opening frags in the blink of an eye, but Boof Sauce gets one back onto Belong. Ankle joints picks up one onto Tongi. Tonzi, sorry. And now it is a 2 versus 3 in favor of the Unicorns.
Forest hoping to emulate something of his teammates in that previous round with the 2 versus 2 retake. Ankle joints will have to do it alone. However, now in a 1 versus 2, you can see Long just playing up in heaven, which might be an angle that is overlooked here for ankle joints, but we'll have just to wait and see here now. He's slowly but surely checking. T-Hell, he won't spot Long there, but it's not really planted for them, so they could get a little diffuse going. Missed spray there from Long, and ankle joints will catch him eventually into heaven, but there's no time remaining, and Broken will clean up that frag. Getting a little bit dicey there for Ulster, but they did close it out in the end in that round, and that will be 7 rounds now on the board on the T side of Train.
That it will be, and UCC now forced into a pretty awful spot economically, while oh, look at this read from Tonzi. Actually, he could have got dropped an AK from Broken, but he's opted for the Mac 10 because he knows that UCC are on a bad buy here, and he can just farm up cash and keep up that that economic advantage that UU have had this entire game so far.
Nice to see that there. We see Tonzi gets that first frag, picks up a Deagle for his troubles, and he's just going to keep charging out. Gets the second on the Forest. Belong will catch off Boof Sauce, and that is a clean entry onto the B side there for Ulster. Tonzi doesn't really seem to care that he's 8 HP. Got that Mac 10. He can give it up if he really needs to. And he gets a 3rd frag as a result. 255. Unfortunate to not see him through that smoke. As a result, Tonzi, although he only really had a Mac 10, he still saves that armor, which is quite big in the scheme of things.
It is, yeah, and he held on to a lot of util there as well. Didn't have to use much of it that round, but certainly wouldn't want to be just throwing it down the drain. UCC are going to buy back into this, interesting, with a little bit of lacking perhaps in the utility department, but they do have an up in the hands of Boof Sauce to try and switch it up. Pass play into Ivy will be punished by Tonzi as he somehow wins that duel. 255 and Boof Sauce though picking up 2 frag each and putting the CTs in a 4 versus 3 now. Bomb down in the middle of the A outside area.
Nice op shot there from Boof Sauce coming in. Will catch Belong on the top of the blue train, I believe that was. But it'll just be himself and Farsign at 2 versus 2. Goes for the no scope on the stop sign. He knows where both players are. One in the A2 area, one on A site. Forest trying to take that aim duel, and it'll be Tonzi, the man we said to look out for, really living up to his name here. Just Boof Sauce now in a 1 versus 1. That fluffed Molotov could have given him an option, but instead, I'm not sure. Yeah, it looks like he's just gonna save this time, but good luck. 12 HP, 2 players focused to the areas that he will be at. And he might even die to the bomb at this radius. So this could be very risky. Let me get the most. Nope. Another round on the board there for Ulster. If you were UCC, what would you be thinking right now? What would you want to do to switch this up?
I think they should absolutely utilize attack pause so they can kind of talk about what's working for them, what hasn't, what's gone right on the 2 rounds they have won, and where they're losing control on the 9 rounds they have lost. As the score is now 9-2 in favor of UU, and UCC forced onto An interesting buy here. They're looking like yeah, they look like they're still going to try to buy next round, but they
Ooh.
have purchased some weapons. That's a lovely tag down on Boof Sauce. Unzi will be dropped by Kakai and Ivy, who will try to take up an AK, but will be punished. And Malong gets one onto Boof Sauce in return.
Nice bit of play on top of the tree in there. A bit of a different angle for an angle for ankle joints there. Unfortunately, I'll only net him one frag, and it's just down to Forest now the Eagle, and he has been taken out by Long. Yeah, if I were UCC right now, get that tac pause in. Think of where you're losing that initial peak. Seems to be a lot of joules being lost on that initial run up to Ivy, and I see it sometimes in the B ramp. Maybe throw a few mollies to stop any initial peaks, smoke them off, just something like that. It just doesn't seem to be that much utility being used from UCC, and I know they don't have much because of their economy, but again, you have to pick your battles wisely. Should you get that M4, or should you buy the FAMAS and more nades?
Or just do one extra eco perhaps, because that util is so important on CT side train. Ankle joints will get a lovely angle onto the Long there. It will take him out, and 255 gets one into Blue Penguin as well. Suddenly it's a 5 versus 3, and UCC certainly have the upper hand now in this round.
Just talking about how much utility is needed, and UCC are now 5 versus 3 in a round where they didn't have much. But we can see, just to point out, Kokai does have an auto sniper, so the economical choices from UCC have been interesting to say the least. And Long will get that frag now onto 255, who was playing up an E-box. It allows him to push out on the E-box himself. Catches off ankle joints as well. Can he get this third frag on the Boof Sauce? He will. Big play coming out from Long, but he doesn't check for the Ivy player. Forest jumping, just about gets into Ivy there. Very scary. The nade as well with the follow-up damage onto 16 HP. And Kokai with this auto sniper, he's going to have to do big work. He will get one frag onto Tonesy. Just broken now, 17 HP. That was Forest has fallen. It's just broken now, 56 HP. The auto sniper on Kokai, he's just going to peek the angle. Will he think that Kokai has stuck this? Looks like he's banking on him not. But what is Kokai holding? He is holding the right angle. And that will be another round now for UCC. Again, fairly scrappy, but if you're UCC at this stage, I think you'll take anything you can get.
Absolutely, yeah. The auto sniper coming out to play in their favor there, which is something I do love to see. I do love it being switched up like that. Someone pulls out a shotgun or an auto sniper like that and making it work. That's what I like to see.
Yeah, I feel actually, just on that point about a shotgun, if the economy is that low, it would be nice to see. Ankle Joints does have an MP9, but he is going to go to Ivy. Because he had that, he had the best spawn there for A, he could have pushed into Pop Dog, throwing an early molly onto A main, and got a bit of Pop Dog control, just delayed, then he pushes that way. As you can see, 3 players are focused on Pop area, and they're probably going to do some sort of flash to take it in a second or two. Tonesy left outside Ivy there, 18 frags on the board for himself. He is really having a blinder this game. And Kokai might be coming up huge here with this auto sniper, but no, Long rips his head off. Kokai didn't even react. That is a big frag for Ulster and a big loss for UCC there. An M4, an MP9 and an M4 with hardly any utility. It looks like they might just save for this final round. Which is, if you're... Sorry, go on.
I was going to say, look at UU's utility here as well. They didn't even have to, use that much to get control of the B site there. They still have, 2 smokes to the name. They only used their 3rd one there in the afterplant. They still have a bunch of Molotovs, flashes. They're not even too phased in having to push UCC out of the positions they're holding.
Yeah, whenever you... Especially if you've got the confidence after winning so many rounds, like Long did there, he just swung an auto sniper and won the duel with a crisp headshot. That's a big sort of wake up call for UCC that you're gonna have to do something other than hold angles. Use some utility if you can. Maybe play an off angle. Nothing seems to be working, unfortunately, for them in this in this half. Hopefully, we can see some sort of magic pulled out on the T side. Maybe a reverse sweep. Who knows?
Indeed. One thing is for certain is that UCC need rounds and they need them fast. Opening kill will go in their favor, but Blue Penguin will finish off that kill onto Faris. Belong picks up another one on the A outside area onto 255. And he'll get a second one there onto Boof Sauce as well. And now it's a 2 versus 4. But Broken has just fallen to his own death.
Oh no! Oh dear.
They do still have a man advantage here, so it's not. I suppose it's not the end of the world, but it's still certainly not something you like to see. Especially not on your first game that's been streamed.
Always a moment to clip and bring up at the occasion you can.
Absolutely.
UCC.
Cockeye will pick up a kill into Blue Penguin. Tonzi will trade it out with the no scope.
Ooh.
And a second one onto ankle joints. That was just disgusting. 20-7 he finishes this half. The score 12-3 in favor of the Unicorns.
I mean, what can I say? It's been a fairly dominant first half here for Ulster. Tonesy, the player that we were talking about at the start of the game, has been showing up very, very well here. Belong as well, not doing too bad in Long as well, putting in the numbers. That he had a nice 2k entry on the ace site, and of course that lovely one tap onto the auto sniper of Kokai on the back of B site. But that half is all over. Hopefully, I really do hope that Cork can bring something out here in this T side. Looks like they do have a smoke and Forest, flashbang and a nade, and then 2 flashes for Boof Sauce. I'm assuming Forest is going to drop this smoke onto the ramp. He will, and that will be the rush out on the B. Tonesy with that first frag, and he's spraying through that smoke. Does tie Kokai slightly, but that will be it as 2 players now walk up onto Oil. Long with a lovely flick shot there, but he doesn't expect that second one. Tonesy will be there to help him out. And it's just Kokai now in the back lanes to be. Spots the shadow of Broken. Does he get the frag? Unfortunately not. Broken will finish that, so it's a clean sweep. No one dying on the CT side for Ulster.
A very, very clean round from the Unicorns there. Unfortunate for UCC. They did manage to get the bomb plant, and I wonder will we see them forced by now off that, because they desperately need rounds fast. They're probably not willing to give up that 14th round in order to exchange. Yeah, there we go. We'll see 2 Mac 10s, a Galil, 2 Galils, and a Scout coming out for UCC. Actually, pretty good to rival the UU's own by, with only the 1 M4 and 4 SMGs. This could work for UCC if they make something happen here.
Yeah, I do. I actually really like the idea of buying after you lose the second round of after you lose first round as a T player if you've got the bomb down, because you're basically matched on weapons as the CTs. Maybe bar like if somebody wants to buy an M4, as you can see Broken has. Unfortunately for them though, it doesn't seem to be going too well for them in this round. Blue Penguin and Long getting the frags and eventually picking up the Galils that they dropped. Blue Penguin does get a second and a third. That will be his 4th actually for that round. So big play from him. Everyone on the Ulster side showing up today. I really do have to give it to Tonesy. He seems to be the one leading the charge for Ulster, and potentially making all the difference.
Absolutely. I think he is certainly one of the players to look out for in this tournament. Probably one of the highest rated in terms of like Faceit ratings in Ireland, at least in the tournament, which is definitely on the higher end of the spec of the talents that are competing in the tournament. However, UCC now only 2 rounds to work with. It looks like they're going to hit B pretty hard and fast. They will take initial damage from the Molotov. The first kill will be picked up by Tonzi with that MP9, and he will take an AK right after it. Broken gets 2 kills, one onto ankle joints, one onto 255, as that bomb will not be planted as Tonzi interrupts it for his 24th kill in 17 rounds. And now it's just Forest in a 1 versus 5. A Galil, no utility, and no bomb to work with. We'll find the first one to Broken, but
GG flashbang there.
Indeed, indeed. That'll be all he manages to find, as he will be taken down, which will put you on match point. Map points for the first map of this best of two tonight.
It is I think for Ulster, or not for Ulster, sorry, if for UCC at this stage, you might just want to be focusing on your next game here on the Mirage. This hasn't been going too well in their favor, so we can see it is a bit of a mash of a buy here. MP7, Galil, Deagle, Sawed Off, P90, whatever they could afford. Maybe they can make it work. Boof Sauce does catch Tony, but Broken just at the edge of that smoke will get the Boof Sauce as a trade. They haven't even made it out on the B side before Ulster have rotated into the back lines here at B. Ankle Joint still with that bomb, but look where Kokai is. Flanking in connector now with the shotgun. He needs to get up close and personal, but in the meantime, 255 catches off Broken. Crisp headshot there. Kokai will be giving the information that there's one in the back left as 255 gets another frag. He's tapping heads today. Can he get a third? Just about tags belong on the 15 HP as Long comes into this flank here. And Ankle Joints now coming all the way back from Pop Dog. That flank will confirm that it is going to be an A hit. Or is it? Ankle Joints and Kokai having a bit of maybe a hug there. I'm not too sure before they get into this 2 versus 2 after plant situation. Now Kokai playing up close in connector. Long doesn't want to risk it.
He might
But he
get
might
lucky
just
timing
catch
here.
Kokai. Oh, that is so unfortunate. Ankle Joints catches belong there, just not quick enough on that frag. And he thinks that Long has already crossed the site, but he doesn't realize that it isn't the case. That will be the first game going the way of Ulster Unicorns in a 16-3 way. That is that's pretty big.
That's a pretty decisive victory. I think that's the most decisive victory we've had on stream yet. I could be wrong, but that was some very, very solid stuff from the Ulster Unicorns there. Individual performances. While Tonzi was absolutely fragging out, especially in the earlier half of that game, his whole team kind of stepped up and everybody kind of played their part there. And it was just, it was clinical to watch some of those rounds.
Yeah, it was great to see. Obviously, now as we've sort of repeated throughout the game, Tonesy has been doing big work, but his teammates are also helping out when needed. There's been a few rounds where he's been caught off guard and being the first to fall, and Ulster is still converting the rounds. So it's great to see that. Hopefully, they can continue this momentum, and I would say especially don't get complacent. Mirage, completely different ball game. I would say UCC will have more experience on Mirage, and it could be completely different. So who knows?
Absolutely. We're going to jump to a short break, anyway, everybody, as we sort of try to fix some of these tech issues and the teams get ready for map number 2 of the night, which will be Mirage. So we will see you all shortly. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. We're going to be jumping straight into the second map. Hopefully those tech issues are fixed now. We apologize for the inconvenience, but looks like, from what we can see in the warm-up, everything is perfectly dandy now. Jumping into map 2 of the night, it's going to be UU starting on the CT side and UCC on the T side as we jump into the pistol round. I am still joined by Ro. How are you doing?
Not bad. Hoping for a more close match actually this round. This time around, Train was a bit of a blowout in terms of the Ulster side, and it looks like UCDC do have some sort of initial strat that they do. You know, the standard T side play I would say is a contact B or something like that, but UCC putting the smoke down on the A site, getting the bomb down, pushing on to CT now as well, and they've made it into a 3v3, 3-on-2. As I say that, Belong gets that all-important frag as Blue Penguin trades him out. Just ankle joints now remaining. Tech 9 in hand. Nobody peeking him just yet. He swings through the smoke, catches Tonesy, but that's all he's going to get. And as a result, Ulster come back from, I think it was a 3 versus 5.
I think that's right, yeah.
So that was a good bit of resilience shown there. The trades went their way in CT, and first round going their way as we get a technical pause. Nice.
Someone's Steam crashed. Unfortunate, but it happens. Either way, that was a pretty clean retake there from the Unicorns. They had the smoke for the defuse was pretty handy. They didn't have a kit, but two CTs saw to it that the diffuser was adequately covered so that he could be traded out when he fell, and they picked up the defuse where he left off. UCC looking like they're just going to opt to buy a couple of pistols, 4 P250s and a Tech 9. And one smoke grenade there on Faris as the Unicorns are going to pick up their SMGs. Standard second round buys. Nothing too special at all.
Yeah, we were just saying actually in that train game about buying as a T after you plant the bomb, but this time UCC aren't going to opt for it. So looks like they do have a decent amount of money saved, and at the end of the day, it's personal preference, but I do feel like you've got such a great chance, especially on a map like Mirage. Get your Galils in and just send it out mid. You could take these long range duels against FAMASs, against MP9s, and unfortunately, one frag will be all they're getting. So if we look at the money, they do have enough to buy AKs and stuff this round, so that is what they've decided to opt for instead. And an op actually for Kokai as well, so let's see if he can work his magic now on Mirage.
Indeed, yeah, very early for taking out the op, but I'm totally here for it. Looks like he's probably going to go for a mid pick here, try and catch a player peeking window. Don't think the Unicorns are going to expect the op here. He will miss that first shot, but he will get the information that they are going to push mid. But does he know there are two? He spots one. Makes another shot, but Tonzi will just dodge it. But now the CTs have control of mid. Although, right now does have information that they have fallen off of top mid anyway. As Tonzi will pick up a kill onto ankle joints there, but he will be traded out by 255.
Yeah, very unfortunate actually for Kokai to not catch a frag there, but he did give the all-important information. But again, the frags just went Ulster's way there. 2 players on mid. I think it was Tonesy jumped up onto the short pillar and was able to catch the underpass player off guard, and as a result now it's just 4 versus 3 for Ulster, as it's going to be contact play here out onto the B apps. The steps now given up by 255 Forest and Kokai to follow, but Long in the Forest position does get 2 frags. Kokai will trade him out, but he doesn't expect this close play. Blue Penguin unfortunately causes his teammate to die, but I think in the end it was worth it for the AWP. And that will be now the 3rd round with an op taken from the T side. That's quite good from an economical point of view for Ulster as well.
Absolutely, yeah. Good hold from Long there to get 2 before he got traded out eventually. But it's absolutely what you want to do in those late round scenarios. Just hide in a corner where they're probably they will probably clear you, but where you can at least get one. And he did that and more as he took up 2. Tonzi, quick pick onto Forrest in middle there. But it looks like the Keys are just going for a fast B apps play. The Molotov to slow them down and the smoke to follow it. think to charge through it. They will be absolutely destroyed by the Deagle as Long picks up another 2. Must be third here onto Kokai. Can he get the 4K? He's expecting it. That he will. Very clean stuff from Long right there. 4 kills in this round as UCC now in the position to buy finally an actual good buy in this half. An AWP in the hands of Kokai. A second one on Boof Sauce on the T side. Bro, this is
Ooh,
unheard of.
spicy. This is spicy. Boof Sauce going towards Palace here. Maybe trying to catch somebody on. Now, you won't get the spawn for the cross, but maybe a stairs peek or a jungle peek. Tonesy again with that AWP just removes Kokai. That is now a single upside for UCC. They're not even able to retrieve the op that has fallen down, and Ankle Joints doesn't spot Broken. As a result, 255 does get some bullets shot at him, but they do miss, and he does survive on 100 HP there. But the information that the bomb wasn't BAPS is enough to call a bit of a more defensive play here for Ulster. But yeah, double up setup could have been really spicy. Unfortunately, either the spawn didn't work or Tonesy just had the right angle. And unfortunate for Kokai.
Looks like the T's will be opting to take the bomb over towards the A bomb side as Blue Penguin. Oh, sorry, as Tonesy does pick up one. Oh, no, sorry, it was actually the T's got the frag there. Blue Penguin will get the opening kill onto Faris though as he's traded out by Ankle Joints. Boof Sauce gets the kill onto Tonesy towards that jungle position, and now it's a 3 versus 2, and the retake has to come in. Long is already in CT, unable to deny the bomb plant, but he seems happy enough to just bide his time for the moment. Boof Sauce taking the peek, but unable to find the frag. That being said, he will re-peek and absolutely annihilate for Long in spawn, and now it's just Broken in a 1 versus 2. He's got 1 kill, but Boof Sauce, too quick, holding that angle perfectly, rips the feet from underneath them and drops them as UCC pick up their first round.
Good to see the one up, at least on the UCC side, getting a frag there. And they are going to opt for that double up setup yet again. I'm assuming they're doing it spawn based. Kokai is going to go towards ramp this time. Boof Sauce was going to go ramp, decides to go pallet. It seems like it's going to be a execute with Kokai holding for any cross. Nothing spotted just yet as Tonesy with that AWP in mid. Not finding one just yet as the smokes now rain out onto the A side. Nothing for jungle though, which will allow Tonesy to hold the angle into Palace, and he will opt to re-smoke that. So that's Boof Sauce out for another maybe 15 seconds or so. But look at this flank here. 255 pushing in through connector, doesn't spot Belong, just playing on the stairs. Broken able to pick up that AK as the players on triple for Ulster. Raining fires into connector. Forest catches off Long into CT as well. Belong helps out Broken. And Ankle Joints gets dunked to 50 HP. Not before Boof Sauce can help him out. And a second there, but Tonesy too quick with that AWP for Boof Sauce to get his third. I would have lost my mind if Tonesy hit that shot. And unfortunately, that's another round now for UCC. Unfortunate there for Tonesy. He did have an op in a 1 versus 2. It's not the easiest gun to retake with. And UCC opting for the double up again. They're really sticking to this. And I really do. If they can get some decent plays out of it, you know, fair play. But we can see 4 nades at the hands of Ulster. It's going to be the classic push ramp nade stack, and that will catch Kokai off. The op taken out just like that. Unfortunately, there's no further aggression there for the Ulster side. Ankle Joints just going to chuck the op away. Well, not that securely away, but at least out of sight initially as the UCC players now run towards B.
It's going to be Tonesy with the 5-7 to hold off against the world here. It looks like we are going to see Ankle Joints splitting off towards middle, perhaps just trying to do a late lurk up short. Tonesy should get the opening kill on 255 here. We'll pick up an AK, but he'd be quickly traded out by Faris as Ankle Joints gets one in middle as well. And now it's a 3 versus 3. Should be going down here.
Just looks like Ulster going for exit frags here. Ankle joints. Gets one. Traded out there by Blue Penguin. So decent damage done from the Ulster side. And this could actually be converted into a round win here. Broken now in a 1 versus 1 on the Forest. AWP 5-7 and a grenade in hand. Just going to chuck the op away so that they can't save it. And I think he's going to take Forest down with him just so he stays in the bomb site long enough. Dancing around the side. Forest will get the frag. That was really, really close there. And smart thinking there from Broken did not allow the op to be saved.
Yeah, I respect that. He, even though it was a 1v1 and he did have the op in his hands, I think he did make the right call there, because his team can buy pretty comfortably now anyway. They had a very, very solid eco around there, picking up a lot of kills. UCC will actually purchase up another AWP anyway, as it looks like Kakai is going to go for the quick sneak peek onto Tonzi, but Tonzi too fast. Absolutely takes the shoulder off him.
What on earth's happened here? Ankle joints in 255 or AFK for 15 seconds and 255 spot a Bison. Wouldn't be my gun of choice, but you know, you do you. Boof Sauce catches Tonzi off guard there. The AWP now falling on the Ulster side.
I want to see some of this Bison action. This 255 charges out from underpass. Will drop it for an M4 right as I switch to him. Very unfortunate. Ankle joints, however, will take out Blue Penguin, and that is the A bomb site ripe for the taking. We're over on B. Broken will be dropped to low HP by Boofsauce, who will finish off his dinner there. And it's just Long now left in a 1 versus 4 to save that M4, but he'd be shot in the back. Boofsauce just creeps into market.
No communication there, or that was a complete breakdown. Long should have known that there was a player coming from the B site and he should watch his back. Maybe he was hoping that he could catch somebody off in jungle beforehand, but it was a weird round, that I'm not going to lie. The two players AFK at the start of the round, a Bison was involved. Works out in UCC's favour. Didn't expect that. And the nade stack isn't going to work out for Ulster here. It's just Tonzi yet again on the B side. He might come into a bit of bother here. Looks like it won't be a rush this time though. And he will have some backup coming for Ulster here now. 3 players going into market. Broken, knife out, caught off guard there by Forest. And they should know that that is going to be the B take now. The smoke's raining in as well. Top of the van, Tonzi gets the deagle frag. And a full blind kill there from Kukai will catch off Tonzi. Belong gets the trade. Boofsauce as well, getting frags on the B side. 2 versus 3 now for Ulster. Belong snuck in behind them on Van. This could be really big. Misses that instant headshot, but he will get that spray down. Unfortunate there, Forrest able to get that frag eventually. I feel like he could have used that opportunity to maybe sneak around the site and catch somebody else that mightn't have been looking his way.
I think you're right. That would have been a big brain play. Apologies, can't speak today. However, still good economic damage done on that eco round. Very ballsy from UCC to actually commit to that B rush despite not actually having the information on how many players were there. And they did walk into like a semi-stack, but they came out on top, so fair play to them there. Ankle joints making first contact. Yeah.
Oh dear, look at that nade damage though. Ankle joints gets 1 frag, 2, 3, 4 for Long. Unfortunate not to get that ace. Nice spray control. Boofsauce with a jumping spray. Doesn't seem to hit any bullets, and Broken will put his dome in place. But yeah, that was a big spray down there for Long. The damage was done by those nades as well. And like, I feel a B rush whenever, you know, you've built up some momentum. I can kind of see the logic, but there was a bit of hesitation. 2 players got caught off. They got trapped by a molly, and then they just decided to push through anyway. It was a bit of a mixed match of things there, and as a result, Ulster do get that 5th round that they so crucially needed.
It absolutely is a risky play. It can be rewarding if you're bold enough, but it was not to be that round. UCC now forced onto a medium buy, an odd one actually. An AWP in the hands of Boofsauce, and only a deagle in the hands of Ankle Joints. Looks like they probably will be setting up for an A hit in the near future. Only 3 smokes to work with, so they could get a standard like A sort of scrim out here. But,
Looks like a smoke for CT and jungle for now.
hmm.
From the lines up. The lineups, I should say. The line. Flashbang will come out from Ulster to just delay any plays, but Tonesy the first to catch a frag there in the booth sauce. The swing from the jungle smoke will work out for Belong. Kukai taken down Belong there before Ulster just clean up there. Only one player falling, and that was Belong through a dodgy play through that smoke. I mean, it worked out for him. Did get the trade frag, and another round now on the board for Ulster. Utility wasn't enough for UCC in that round, and no further map control sort of cemented it as an A play, and Ulster had the quick rotates as a result.
Exactly that. I feel like whenever I spec Long, he's just always on the right bomb site. There he was over an A for like the first time, and UCC pushed A. He's just heard them all pushing underpass. That is huge. Tonzi destroys Kokai with a lovely shot there. Will miss the second shot before he gets blocked by ankle joints. That is very unfortunate. The 4 versus 3 now. 4 versus 2 now as Belong takes out 255. And he will be dropped by the Glock of ankle joints again as an M4 falls into the hands of the T's. 3 versus 2. 3 versus 1, but no, Blue Penguin, he's had enough of the antics this round, and he takes down the last T players for the Ulster Unicorns' 7th round of this half so far.
I wouldn't have been surprised there if ankle joints got another frag with that Glock and that last guy, but 2 frags going their way. It could have been far, far worse. I was expecting it to be worse. So they take those on it. They are going to go for a half by this round. At this stage, I would be hoping to like come up with some new strats to counter how Ulster are playing right now. It just seems that they've been rotating between Rush A, Rush B. Hasn't been working out for them, so here's hoping, fingers crossed, in the next round that they will think of something, as they do need to get control. They had 5 rounds on the trot, but Ulster seem to have copped on to what they were doing, and that will be their 8th now, so they've won the CT half, as you would expect for the CT side here in Mirage. But here's hoping that UCC can, now with their money, will they go for that double op setup again? It's possible.
Yeah, I'm certainly intrigued by it. He will opt for the AK.
Boring.
Another day, perhaps.
Kokite is of the spawn here for ramp, so gap in the smoke. Oh, that nade though was big, lands right on his chest. Tonesy flashed off, but he still tags him through the wall.
He did,
and
yeah.
Blue Penguin gets him from the grave frag there as Boof Sauce walks out onto B, catches off Broken, and little does he know that there's nobody else on B now. It's just Long in market. Boof Sauce will drop down, and that will just be asking for Long to rotate. But as I say that, Tonesy is just cleaning up there with that AWP. 2 frags for him onto ramp. Just 2-2-5 left. Flash comes through. Long catches off Boof Sauce there, the flank. He didn't do too much in this round, so it is 2-2-5. 2-5-5 left now.
Once he spot him, he did, and that's a lovely shot there to make his 3rd of the round. Technically hitting 4 upshots, but 3 kills nonetheless. And that is 9th round now for Ulster Unicorns. Definitely in a very comfortable spot going into their T side. As we enter the final round of this half anyway.
Yeah, it's the up again now for Boof Sauce. Looks like it's Boof Sauce and Kukai. They take it in turns. Whoever has the money seems to pick the up, but it hasn't really been doing too much work on the T side. Tonesy seems to be shutting them down, and that was a failed smoke, I'm assuming, there from Tonesy, but double up setup actually from Ulster this round. How they'll work that. See Broken holding that angle, and he will spot the push from Kukai with that MP7. Now he has to play a dangerous game. He's all alone, and he tries for a jumping no scope. Unfortunately, he misses, but Tonesy and Blue Penguin doing work on the other side of the map. 3 players all towards A, and that will net them another frag. However, the bomb has been planted. Gap in the smoke. Belong doesn't spot the gun barrel. Kukai, I'm not sure, is that a one-way smoke or just an unfortunate
I think it was
smoke
just an
that it landed.
unfortunate.
That's quite nice.
Works out in his favor anyway. Kakai will miss that shot onto Tonzi. That is very unfortunate, as he will get yet again another 3k with that AWP. He'll be finishing the half on 15 kills, 17 on Long as he leads the server. And the rest of UU not far behind as they pick up their 10th round, finishing the half 10-5.
Yeah, another strong half there for Ulster. Obviously, starting on the CT side does help as well, but just seemed that, you know, once UCC did get those 5 rounds on the board, and it was close for a while, if you do check some of those rounds that UCC were winning, they only had 1 or 2 players remaining, and eventually I think their economy started to run dry a little bit, even though they were winning rounds. And Ulster were just able to pick up that momentum again and get the rounds on the board. But 10-5, not a bad T half either. Definitely a very close, a much closer game than the previous one. So let's see what UCC can do on their CT side. Another A take. Nice to see more A takes on Mirage. Big nade, however, doesn't do as much damage as I thought it would there. Toonsy with the Tec-9 gets that first frag. I'm pretty sure he got the first frag in the previous round, and he's on for 2 now. Toonsy just running around the map with the Tec-9 as Broken now, looking for some frags of his own.
Oh,
Blue
kill
Penguin.
was tonight. You hate to see that.
Oh dear. Yeah, we can see Broken doesn't seem to be having this sharing in the same amount of frags as his teammates, but I mean, it doesn't matter at the end of the day. If you're winning, you're winning. But I'm sure he would have loved that cheeky little knife kill, but it wasn't to be.
Absolutely. If we
4 Mac 10s,
it will indeed. If we look at the util damage on Broken, he's got nearly 500 utility damage, which is absolutely unbelievable. Like, that's just absolutely farming the HEs and the Molotovs there. This is a pretty clean round coming out from Ulster Unicorns there as they just pick up. I think that was all 5 kills with Mac 10s. Lots of SMG money to pass around there.
Some more economical damage for UCC taking the hits there. And they're just going to full eco. Will it be an A stack? Yep, looks like it. But on the other half, we can see a full B rush. So there's not going to be any confrontation just yet. Looks like they are going to push all the way into T-spawn, and Broken will be the one hear these footsteps very shortly. When does he realize? Just now. Hears them all thundering towards the apps. Oh dear, no. Broken doesn't even get a single frag. Oh, you hate to see it, but Tonesy and Belong will clean up. Just ankle joints now with the USP.
Yeah, another free kill from Tonesy.
Ooh. Little bit of damage here. Belong could find himself in a bit of trouble. Ooh. 15 HP. Unlucky. Yeah, my heart really goes out there to Broken. He was, I think he hesitated on that first frag a little. Tried to transfer before he finished killing the first guy, and then it was all downhill from there.
I think the sheer amplitude of the footsteps he was hearing was enough to make his heart just kind of say, nope, this isn't my ace. Too many. Looks like it's gonna be another fast A play coming out from Unicorns here, as the CTs are just giving up the A bomb site, except for 255, who was just isolated. It was almost a free bomb site. Sauce. Two no scopes coming out from him there, and suddenly it's a 4 versus 3.
He was unfortunate there on the T side. He didn't seem to get that many off frags, but he's putting in work now. Oh, missed up there from Belong. Oh, Broken. Yeah, it was from Broken there. And Boof Sauce doesn't even need the scope. What is this round? Will he get this 4th frag? Oh, please don't. Are you kidding me? Boof Sauce, 4 no scopes. Belong has had a mare of a round there as well. Kills his teammate. Oh my, what just happened?
I feel like the score is bugged. Is it the other way around, or what's going on? That's crazy. He's playing like he's about to get a 16-0 or something. He's no scoping. Look, what? Has he forgot to buy a scope? Like, what am I watching? I don't
Yeah.
know.
Two Mac 10s pushing through that CT smoke. Yeah, fair enough. You get the first no scope, but that second one, I think it was Tonesy was the second guy. Jumps from ticket. Somehow I didn't see Boof Sauce's POV, but hits the no scope either way. And then that kerfuffle and sandwich was a bit of an issue as well for Ulster. So they took a bit of a beating that round. Now they do have full AKs here, and the AWP for Belong. Blue Penguin taking big damage, doesn't even consider the option of Kokai again in window. Also on 22 HP. The Molotov now to stop him from peeking, but Boofsauce there again with that AWP, being very quick. Long walking into that Molotov will trigger Forest. And now it's just Tonesy and Broken. 2 AKs, no utility, but 1 frag now for Broken. 2 versus 4. As he's got himself into a bit of a predicament here. Will he catch Boof Sauce off guard? Yeah, he missed. That's unfortunate. And we can see Tonesy with the bomb is going to walk up into apps. Will Forrest catch him first? He shouldn't. Tonesy's now waiting for Broken, I'm assuming, to do some work. Catches that headshot onto Forrest, but he doesn't realize that Ankle Joints is waiting for that drop. Just Broken now, hits the headshot. 17 seconds remaining now. 1 versus 1. Knife out though. Oh, are you kidding me? I would actually lost it if he got that frag.
Came close
Another
to
close
him
one.
right
Yeah.
now.
Oh dear. I mean, this game is living up to its entertainment purposes, at least. We've got that going for it. And it looks like it's the classic Rush B SMG style play. 2 players on the B site for UCC. The molly will come in, but it's not going to be quick enough as Ulster just run through it regardless. Mac 10s galore, 255, the knife for Long. No, can he get it? He does. Sacrifices 2 of his teammates for it, and I think it was a worthwhile trade to make it a 3 versus 3 now. 2 players coming in from apps.
Broken is just
Broken
the
has
first
to go
player
huge.
pass.
Oh my god, this is mad. And he gets 2 frags, taps away with that Mac 10 and Tonesy. Are you kidding me? What is this game?
I thought we were going to see a second knife kill in that round there, but I think he realized there must have been a second player outside of the B app, so he resisted the temptation, I'd say, and he came out on top there.
I'm really losing it here. The past 3 rounds, I feel like I've taken something, and like what actually is happening? Things are going back and forth. Tonesy again with that entry on the Kokai. The duels on middle have been going his way. Doesn't consider Ankle Joint so in connector, and now it's a 3 versus 4. Blue Penguin under 19 HP as well. A scout and an op for UCC, and 255 with just the Deagle. Playing in triple. Oh, the timing could be very good here. Belong does trade him out there after that frag onto Long, and he gets that second frag as well. Feeling very confident. Just Forrest now, Deagle in hand. Misses a few shots there, but will finish the frag into Blue Penguin. Flash comes through and Belong holding that angle. Forrest just realizes it now. Jumps up on top of triple.
Broken gonna play with his food here a little bit, I think.
Oh.
Long does take it away from him in the end.
Match point now for Ulster. So I think a bit of normality has been restored after a sort of fever dream of the past few rounds. And the money again, Kokai, I think, explaining the thoughts of the UCC side here. A Julie rushing into Palace, and he fails the jump as well. Things aren't going his way in this game. And he fails the ladder, or maybe he's beating his teammate, I'm not too sure. Long, however, playing in that back line. Kokai actually gets a frag. You love to see it. A bit of joy in this dark, dark world. Blue Penguin throws the Molotov to stop any further push onto the Palace side of T-Spawn, as it's a free entry onto the B site now. Tonesy will spot that the blinds haven't been broken from Mirage window, and or market window, that's generally an indicator. However, some teams could be sneaky and abuse that fact, but it's not going to be the case for UCC. As Broken just runs through, gets that headshot onto Forest as well. I think this is the end. Just Kokai now left in a 1 versus 4, 15 HP. Julie's on a dream. First headshot there with the AK comes through, but however, Blue Penguin will send him to the shops.
That he will, and that'll close out our second map, completing the score line at 16-7 and 2-0 for Ulster Unicorns against University College Cork. Netsock Rebels, the B team. However, as entertaining as those two games were, that is going to be it for Ro and I tonight. We thank you all very much for tuning in and for bearing with us through the technical difficulties. Stay tuned for the rest of the week as we have League of Legends tomorrow and we have Rainbow Six Siege on Friday. But that is it for us for now. Thank you very much for watching. Ro, any closing words?
Not really. Just interesting final few rounds at least. Kept it a bit entertaining after the technical issues and stuff that we had. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Have a good evening.